back. So we are finally reaching our fourth session, which is, let's discover it together. So habit and routines. Those are actually even on the personal life, even on related to business. Habits is what we're having and the way we're actually planning our day, our life, and so on a daily basis. Okay, so we keep having like a routine, either in our personal life, even in the business itself. Okay, so what I wanted to do in our first step in here, like all the presentation are shared in maximum of 4 steps. Okay, so 8 pages. There are the pages to write down, join down your notes. If you have any questions and so on, you can actually write it down here and then send it to me either by email, Facebook message, any live comment, and so on. Okay, so don't forget that. Then related our habits and routines. Okay, which they are very similar as a word. So what I mean from this, for me, it's more about describing what you do every single day. What is your morning routine? How do you plan your week, your month, your year, based on the actions you're taking, the small actions that you keep repeating, that creates a pattern, and then obviously your routine. Okay, so step 1, complete the below, getting into as much details as possible. Okay, so describe your current day routine on the personal life and in the business. What I mean here is from when you wake up in the morning, what are the first things you're doing? Do you have a specific routine you're doing? Like, for example, I like to hear to motivational audios. Okay, it takes me like between 45 minutes to 1 hour to get ready, prepare, makeup, shower, breakfast, and then start reading my emails and so, and to see what task I have to do by that day. But there are tasks, for example, which I do weekly. Like every Sunday, I write down anything I want the next week to achieve. So I give myself 3 main tasks that I wish to achieve, and so, or I think about my team, what task should I pass on to them, and so on. Okay, so to keep moving forward. Now, I wanted to join down on your personal life and related to the business, all the tasks you're having as a routine yourself. Now, step 2. Here, I want to share, to go more into what opportunities and what threats, we're having towards the business. Okay, so what are your business opportunities? Okay, business opportunities are elements in the company external environment that allow it to formulate and implement strategies to increase profitability. Okay, now what are your opportunities or targets within your market niche? I wanted to join down 6 different ones. I know this is difficult. After the first or the second one, you might be struggling to come up with more. But I really wanted to go into details and break the macro category into smaller ones and write them all in here. Okay, so what opportunities you might have yourself? For example, an opportunity I might have is if, for example, I post constantly on Instagram or as a story or as a poll, I can get in touch with more leads, and out of these leads, someone might send me a message or someone might ask me regarding my program, and then I have the opportunity to sell my package to someone based on the routine I'm doing. So on implementing, on posting on Instagram or on Facebook or so on. Okay, so these are just examples. What opportunities you might have, okay, based on the tasks you're doing weekly, daily, monthly, and so on. Okay, now describe your ideal routine on the personal and business. This, what I mean by here is, what in your ideal world, how would you like your day to be? What's your ideal day in your ideal world? Okay, describe your ideal day routine if you had no limits concerning money. This is on the personal and on the business side. What would you do if you had no limit of money? If you had all the money of the world, what tasks, what routines you're gonna be having? How will you plan your day? Okay, so describe your ideal day in your personal life and in the business life. Okay, now threats. What are the business threats? Business threats are elements in the company external environment that could endanger the integrity and the profitability of the business. So, what are your obstacles, threats, whilst trying to achieve your target? So, I want you to again write down at least 6 of them. Okay, so what obstacles you might have? For example, something that can be an obstacle to me is let me think. So it might be, I don't know, the time zone. I have clients, some here in Malta where I live, so we have the same time zone, and some are, for example, in Philippines, in USA, in Canada, in Australia I have clients. So we have different time zone. That's something external from my control. It's something I can't control myself, but I need somehow to adapt and serve these clients. Okay, so a threat for my business could be the time zone. So maybe sometimes I'm gonna have to wake up in a different hour or during the night to coach someone in a different time zone and so on, you know. So this might be a business threat for me. Now, step 3, positive, negative mindset. Oh yes, mindset is everything. Okay, so sometimes we have like self-doubts, or we're too positive without analyzing the risks we're taking and so on, you know. So there are many different situations that might come across related to how we think, how we analyze your thoughts, and what motivation we give to ourselves. So, understanding your attitude. Success is directly associated with having a positive attitude. You can control your attitudes if you control your thoughts and actions. Sometimes, to change your attitude, you need to unlearn preconceptions to relearn new truths. What I mean by that, for example, we all have our own culture. For example, I'm born in Romania, I grew up in Italy, and now I'm living in Malta. I see a difference in the culture from any country I've been living in. So maybe one of the preconceptions that maybe, I don't know, I could have from Romania, for example, it might be that I don't know, it's something that maybe my parents or my family place into me as a belief. Okay, so it's something that related to money, for example. Okay, so we think that all the rich people, they are bad people, for example. Why? Because they use money to engage people to work for them, so they do not work, they don't do anything themselves. So that can be a preconception. We all know that entrepreneurs, especially, we have to do the work. There is no such thing as not thinking or hiring someone and just passing on tasks and so on. We have to think of what we're passing on, checking out how things are going to see if that person performs or not, and if they are actually making good use of the money we're paying for their service. Okay, so a preconception from Romania, being growing up in a poor country, might be that all rich people are bad or are using others, which I need to take out this idea from my background, from my mindset, and replace it with the truth, which is for us and for me as well. So relearn the new truth is any entrepreneur, any business owner had to do the work, had to do all the mental work and the motivation and finding the right people, hiring the right people is not easy. So all those things that we need to reset in our mindset, okay, to actually see where we are going and what we're surrounding ourselves on. So if we have like a positive attitude or a negative attitude, okay, and get clear on the any preconception we might have. Now, what is attitude comprised of? What you think, how you choose to think about the situation, or what you feel, how you choose to feel, because that's a choice. What you do, how you act as a result. Okay, so we are in control of our life. Okay, we are the ones that are deciding if and how and when and what to delegate if it's possible, okay, to do something. Okay, no one can come and oblige us to do anything, so in that case we are empowered. Okay, now what you think, if you think, for example, I can become successful or I can reach 10k per month in sales or in revenues or 100k per month, up to you what number makes sense or what's your ideal number. So whatever you think, then you transform it and affect that. What you think affects your feelings, okay, how you feel about yourself and so on. Now we might have some preconceptions, okay, and some self-doubts, so we need to clear those out to actually move forward and influence what you do or you don't do, okay, through actions. We need to take actions, okay. So it's very important to know what do you think, how you feel about, and how do that affect you, and then how do that influence you for what you do. Okay, thoughts, the cortex and the logistic and the reason. Okay, so what you think about is actually a choice. You have more control over this area than you think, obviously. Emotions are in a constant battle to drown out logic and objectivity. Emotional emanate from the limbic system, okay, the home of emotions. Now people feel they have no control over their emotions. That's not true. We decide on how we want to feel about a situation and if we let that feeling affect us or not. One's emotion can be amongst the hardest thing to control, as one can't grasp, touch, see a feeling. Emotions often cool the objectivity and hide opportunity. Actions. Inaction can lead to a feeling of helplessness. Action can lead to a feeling of control and empowerment. Okay, now if you start by taking positive actions despite how you may be feeling, this will start a positive attitude spiral, okay, effect, which ultimately affects how you think and act in the future. So if you feel like disappointment or you have negative thoughts and you don't take positive actions, you have poor results. So you keep going into this spiral effect of either negative, either positive. Okay, so this is very important to understand where we are and how we're actually dealing with our thoughts, what emotions we allow ourselves to feel based on those thoughts, and what action we're taking to change or to move forward. Now, dealing with expectations and attitude. Identify one thing that disappoints you often in your life. This doesn't need to be work related, so anything that can maybe disappoint you daily. Now, try to identify the expectations you have, which, when not met, may trigger that feeling of disappointment, which leads to destructive attitude or behavior. Think about the unmet expectation you described above. Are they realistic? Are you expecting too much from yourself or from others? What positive action you can take the next time you are faced with a similar situation in the future? What positive thoughts you can choose to think or action you can you take to help you to break away from entering into a negative spiral? You have a small space down here to reply to all these questions and understand and get aware of how you think, how you let these thoughts affect you emotionally, and then what action you're taking out into the world based on that. So we're ready. This is the last page where we're having you can write down your notes, your questions, like I said, then just shoot them to me by message, email, or any comment in the live sessions we're gonna have in the future. And we're closing up with a nice quote, which is, for today is, daily habits and discipline is what shapes you into a leader and make your business succeed. Thank you very much, and I see you in this next session.